Peak season flights look cheap at first glance. Basic economy flashes the lowest price in big bold numbers, but that price hides rules that tighten when planes are full. Today we'll open the cover and read the fine print together. No jargon, no scare tactics, just clear, practical travel math for your next busy holiday or summer trip. If you're flying with family, carrying gifts, or connecting through a crowded hub, this will help you avoid surprise fees and stressful gate moments. Here is the plan. We will define what basic economy really means in peak season. We will test baggage rules, seat selection, boarding order, and comfort trade-offs. We will walk through delays, missed connections, and what happens when schedules change. We will check points, perks, and upgrade myths. Finally, we will price out when basic economy works and when to pay for standard economy instead. By the end, you will know how to book smarter, spend less overall, and keep your trip calm. Basic economy is not a normal ticket with a lower price. It is a different product with fewer rights baked in. In peak season, those limits show up more often because flights are near capacity. Think of it like a theater seat with a restricted view. The performance is the same, but your options are not. You board later, your choice of seat is limited or costs more. Change and standby rules are tighter, and your bag space is not assured on a crowded plane. Why do airlines push these fares? 2 reasons. First, price ads. The lowest number on the screen attracts clicks. Second, revenue management. When demand spikes, airlines lock flexibility behind higher fares to steer you up the ladder. In peak season, the gap between basic and standard can be big, and the rules get stricter in practice because there is less empty space to smooth the problems. That is the key. Basic economy pain is not just the rule book. It is the rule book plus full flights. If a seat change, earlier flight, or overhead bin was easy on a quiet Tuesday, it may be impossible on a holiday Friday. Airlines will not advertise that loss of wiggle room. So ask yourself one question before you buy. If something goes wrong, can I absorb the delay, the middle seat, and the bag check at the gate without stress? If the answer is no, price in the upgrade to standard economy. It is often cheaper than paying piecemeal for fixes later. Early question for you. What is the biggest basic economy surprise you have faced in peak season? Share it in the comments so others can plan smarter. Real examples help everyone. Carry-on rules vary by airline and route. Some allow a full-size carry-on and a personal item for basic economy. Others allow only a personal item unless you pay. In peak season, the overhead bins fill fast because every suite is taken. Late boarding groups, which include most basic economy travelers, face the highest risk of being forced to check a bag at the gate. That gate check may be free or may trigger a fee, depending on the airline and your bag size. It can also add time at baggage claim and stress during tight connections. Think of it like arriving to a busy restaurant near closing time. There is less choice left. Here is how to protect yourself without overpaying. Check the exact carry-on policy for your flight number before you book. Do not assume it matches your last trip. Measure and weigh your bag at home. Soft-sided bags compress more easily into crowded bins. Pack liquids and heavy items low in the bag so it slides wheels first into the bin. Board as early as your group allows and move with purpose down the aisle. If you must gate check, remove medication, keys, devices, and a light jacket before you hand it over. Peak season delays can make cabin temperatures swing. Basic economy also affects boarding groups. You will likely be called later than standard economy and elites. If you hold a co-branded card that grants earlier boarding, know that it usually works even on basic economy, but it does not change other restrictions. That small shift can be the difference between securing bin space and walking off to the jet bridge scale. One more note, regional jets and holiday charters have smaller bins. Even standard carry-ons may be valley checked on those aircraft. Plan for that reality and keep essentials at your seat. Seat selection is where basic economy often stings in peak season. Airlines hold many aisle and window seats for higher fares and elite members. What is left opens late, and prices to choose a seat can rise as the plane fills. If you skip seat selection, expect a middle seat, especially near the back. That matters more on long flights and for travelers with knee, hip, or shoulder issues. Think of 30 inches of pitch for hours with no armrest control. Family seating is a special case. Many airlines say they will try to seat a child next to an adult at the airport. In peak season, that promise depends on volunteers moving. Do not expect a full row to rearrange for free. If you must sit together, pay for seats at booking, or choose a fare that includes them. Call the airline after purchase and ask a human to place you together if policy allows. Arrive at the gate early and check the seating chart on the app the day before and the morning of flight. Seats open and close as upgrades clear. Comfort is more than leg room. Late boarding can leave you with overhead space across the aisle or in a different section. That means twisting and lifting at awkward angles. A light toe that fits under the seat can protect your back. Thin seat cushions amplify bumps and pressure points. A small inflatable lumbar pillow can transform a middle seat. Noise rises when the cabin is full, and holiday travel brings more children. Noise-reducing earphones help you arrive rested. If you need the lavatory often, pick a seat closer to the aisle when possible. It reduces the need to ask seatmates to move in a packed cabin. These small choices add up when options are limited. Basic economy is built to limit changes. Same-day confirmed changes in standby are often not allowed or cost more. In peak season, that matters because earlier flights and later flights are already full. Even if a rule allows a switch, there may be no seat to switch into. That is the hidden cost. Rules on paper meet full airplanes in real life. What if the airline causes a delay or cancels your flight? Involuntary disruptions are different from voluntary changes. When the airline cancels or significantly delays your flight, you keep the right to be rebooked on the next available seat on the same airline at no extra cost. But next available seat can be hours away in peak season. Agents are less able to move you to partners if your fare is basic economy, especially on separate tickets. During storms, ask about official travel waivers posted on the airline site. Waivers sometimes relax rules for all fares. If you have a tight connection, choose a longer connection when booking in high season. Busy gates, crowded security lanes, and remote stands add minutes you cannot buy back. If you miss a connection due to a late inbound on one ticket, you should be protected. On separate tickets, protection is rare. Build a buffer between tickets or avoid splitting tickets in peak periods. Schedule changes weeks before departure can work in your favor. When the airline changes your times, you may be able to request a better routing without a fee. Call and ask politely. Have 2 or 3 specific flight options ready. One more tip. Keep essentials for a night in your personal item. If weather locks down the network, hotel lines grow fast and luggage can be delayed. A toothbrush, medication, and a clean shirt change the next day. Many travelers assume they will earn miles and status the same on every economy fare. Basic economy often earns fewer redeemable miles and little or no progress toward elite status on some airlines. On others, you may earn normal miles but lose the right to free same-day changes or early seat selection. In peak season, that loss of flexibility hurts more. Upgrade dreams are another trap. Basic economy is usually not eligible for complimentary upgrades or mileage upgrades, even if the app shows open seats in premium cabins. The fare class may block you. Airlines protect those seats for higher fares and elite tiers first. What about credit card perks? Co-branded cards can still grant earlier boarding and free checked bags, even on basic economy, depending on the airline. They do not unlock seat selection rights where the fare forbids it, and they do not guarantee overhead space. Lounge access rules do not change your gate experience when flights run late. Peak season pricing changes fast. Airlines use dynamic pricing for seats and for extras like seat selection, early boarding, and bags. The number you see at noon can rise by evening if bookings spike. Basic economy sits at the bottom of the ladder, but the add-ons around it climb with the demand. That is why the cheapest fare on the search page can end up costing more by the time you add what you need. It is the hotel minibar model rebuilt for airplanes. Here is a better way to shop. Decide your must-haves before you search. Do you need a carry-on, an aisle seat, and at least one free change? Price the total trip with those items included. Compare basic plus extras against standard economy that already includes some of them. Check whether the gap between basic and standard narrows once you add a seat and a bag. On many routes in peak season, the gap shrinks to a small number. Paying the gap up front often beats paying stress later. Watch fare calendars a few weeks out for holiday windows. Sometimes a midweek departure or a first flight of the day avoids both price spikes and delay chains. Morning flights are less exposed to rolling delays. They also have the freshest crews and the best shot at your exact plate and seat. If you book in the United States, remember the 24-hour free cancel rule for bookings, made at least 7 days before departure. Use that window to reprice if a better standard fare appears. Basic economy can work in peak season, but only for certain trips. It fits a short non-stop with no checked bag, no tight schedule, and low need for seat choice. It fits a solo traveler who can tolerate a middle seat and a late boarding group. It can fit a quick visit where you carry medicine, a charger, and a thin jacket and a personal item and nothing more. It does not fit a family that must sit together without stress. It does not fit a once-a-year holiday trip where a delay ruins a reunion dinner. It does not fit a business meeting with a fixed start time and no margin for a missed connection. Use a simple decision check. Add up your likely extras, 1 seat selection, 1 carry-on, and the chance you will need a change. Now compare that total to the standard economy fare that includes some or all of those items. If the difference is small, buy the better product. Choose morning flights to avoid the daily delay ripple. Choose longer connections when weather or crowds threaten your route. Fly with a soft personal item that fits under the seat, and keep your essentials at hand. If you hold a co-branded card that grants earlier boarding or a free bag, apply that benefit. But do not expect it to change basic economy seat rules or upgrade eligibility. Know what your ticket includes before you commit. When in doubt, price the stress. Ask yourself how much an easier boarding, a chosen seat, and a smoother rebooking are worth on this specific trip. On peak days, those items are worth more because they are harder to get. That is the hidden math behind the bright low price. Let's wrap with a quick checklist you can apply to any peak season booking. Define what you need before you search. Price the total, not the headline fare. Confirm the carry-on policy for your exact flight and measure your bag. Choose morning departures and build connection buffers when storms or crowds loom. Add your essentials to a personal item you can keep at your feet. Decide early if sitting together, earning miles, or keeping a change option is worth the fare gap. On peak days, those choices prevent stress at the gate and at the carousel. Remember what airlines will not highlight. Basic economy is not just a cheap seat. It is a set of limits that tighten when the aircraft is full. Boarding later means less bin space. Seat maps shrink as elites, and higher fares lock in choices. Change options exist on paper, but not in practice when every flight is sold out. Not the one that looks cheapest on the screen. The right decision saves money, time, and energy across the whole journey. It helps you arrive rested and ready for what matters at your destination. If this guide helped you see the full picture, I am glad you are here. We make travel simpler by explaining the rules in plain language. Your next booking can be calmer, cheaper overall, and more comfortable. Now, I would love to hear from you. What is your one best tip for surviving basic economy in peak season? Drop it in the comments to help the whole community travel smarter.